Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm. Yay! Hello, everyone. We did it. Oh my goodness. Uh, I don't like Facebook Live. I'm doing it through Zoom, so I'm hoping everything is going well. If you could drop a comment so that I know you're. Yay! Oh, wait, let me mute that. I don't need to hear that. Okay. Yay, we're here. Hi, everyone. Okay, I have to get rid of this little how do I don't want to see myself. It's gonna be okay. I don't care. Hi. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. So let me take a breath. It's been a minute since I've done a Facebook Live on my public page. I've been focusing a lot in my private spaces in the Facebook group that I run and some other things that I've been focusing on in my business. So I'm just really excited to be here. And I am gonna, I really wish I could just see the live chat and that's all. I don't like seeing myself. Hi. Hi, Alexandra. If you're listening, say hello. I would love to just kind of weave with you and just like have this space with you and just know who's here with me tonight. Um, yeah, good. How does that work? Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, anyway, I'll stop fiddling with it. Hello, it's so good to see you all. I have a very specific reason to be here tonight. There has been something being built in my life, and I've been holding it for a long time. I've been holding it technically for years, but in the building phase for months. And so it feels really appropriate. Hi, Sarah. Hello, honey. It feels really appropriate to go ahead and be in this public space and just rip the band-aid off and let the world know. I've been like, I think I've been a little bit nervous to like tell everyone this feels like my baby. It feels really important to me. And I've been a little bit nervous to go ahead and just do it. But you know what? Let's do this. Something's been incubating, something has been gestating in my world, and feels like she's ready to be born. Feels like she's ready to be born. So, where do I begin? Like I said, I've been building something. I've been building something true, like true, right? Real, something sacred, something powerful, something that I'm very honored to be able to say I'm witnessing it change lives. So it's to me, it's very real in that way, right? And up to this point, I haven't really known how to speak about it. That sounds really funny, but every time I try to explain it, I haven't been able to land on the right verbiage because sometimes I think when you have something in you that wants to be born, that wants to come into the world, it's energetic at first. You know, there's a concept and a feeling and an idea. And hi, Jody. And so it's been very difficult for me to find the words to explain to people what it is I'm building, like what we are creating, what is happening. And so my husband came in today and he's asking me about it. He's wanting to understand. He wanted to know how he can support. And when he talks about it, like what does he get to say about it? And most of you know, if you've been in my realm for even a minute, you know that I'm a talking processor. So if you get me rambling and I can settle in and I can tune in, then words start coming out, the truth starts coming out. And so that happened today in my office when my husband came in. He's like, "Hey, what is this? I want to understand." So I have the words. I understand now. I know what we're doing. So this container, this beautiful space that we're making, is called Her Sovereign Way. Her sovereign way, her way. Feel that for starts, right? Her sovereign way. And it started as a platform. It started as a community space. I had gotten really tired of Facebook and Meta in general. And so I wanted something that felt a little bit more private, a little bit more under my charge. Like I could watch it, I could keep keep tabs on it and keep people safe, right? But it started to turn into something way more. What it is turning into is this ever evolving, living, breathing sacred container for women to, yeah, just checking chat. Hi, lovelies. For them to find their rhythm in a world that was built by men for men. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way, but truth is truth. This world was built for men. Everything about it, like women are an accessory or property within the realm of what this world is built for. And so we don't even have connection to our own infradian rhythm, to our own system, our own ebb and flow of our own hormonal system. And another level of what we're doing is we're rewriting and reprogramming, not reprogramming, reclaiming our inner value. We are remembering who we are, minus all of the projections and rules and stories of what the world tells us we're supposed to be, right? The world has a lot to say about who women are supposed to be here, right? And so we're rewriting that, reclaiming our value for ourselves. And then my very favorite part, and this is the part that I landed on today because I didn't quite understand until today, is women get to feel resourced so that they can show up for the people that they love without emptying themselves in some sort of sacrificial declaration of a woman's purpose. In other words, this world tells women that your value is based on you pouring every drop of yourself into other people. That makes a good woman. When you are showing up and catering and sacrificing every bit of yourself so that the people around you are taken care of, if they're happy, you did good. And unfortunately, after centuries of that programming, there's a lot of women that believe that, live as such, live as if that is the truth, because they are buying into that program that that's the only way you're going to be a good woman, is if you somehow, in whatever way you're sacrificing yourself, if you sacrifice yourself for the good of the people, you have value. Women are burning out at a higher rate than men. Women are trying to keep up with the circadian rhythm of men. Men have testosterone levels that women don't have. That's why the world was built for men. They have a replenishing amount of testosterone every day. 24-hour cycle, they wake up with brand new testosterone. They're ready to go. They're ready to be consistent with their goals. Women are wired differently. We're in January, so it's a good time to talk about resolutions, right? New Year's resolutions. When a man sets his sights on a goal and he's like, I'm going to do this every day like this, and I'm going to succeed. It works for him because he has that replenishment of testosterone. Women don't have that level. And yet it's the only example we have in the world of what setting goals looks like. So we mimic it, we mirror it, we do it the way we're shown we're supposed to do it. But we don't work on the same circadian rhythm as far as our hormonal cycle. We're on an infradian rhythm, meaning where a man replenishes every 24 hours, we replenish 25 to 35 days. Our rhythm is different. So one of the things that really pisses me off about the medical system is they don't even test women's bodies, they only test men's bodies. So the medicines and the things that they do to support different stages of life are all tested on men. Meaning we're just now finding out that women's nervous systems are actually wired differently. When we tried to do things like this, it puts us into freeze, the trauma response freeze. We do not have the sustainability the way men do because we don't have that same level of testosterone. So what happens with women, that's something that I've noticed for myself and over the years with clients, is when women are trying to be consistent in their goals, they're going to go into freeze because the overwhelm hits their nervous system. And then what happens then? Then it feels like procrastination. And then we fall into a shame spiral because we can't do it and we're failing. And the world tells us we're failing because we didn't do it the way men do it. So that's just one of the things that we're starting to find in this group is that women just can't. Hi, Lovely Jean. Hi, Robin. Hi, Laura. Hi, lovely ones. Women just can't keep up the way we're told we're supposed to keep up. We have our own version of ebb and flow, but we've not ever been given permission to tap into that. We've never been given permission to embody that. We're too busy dealing with the shame because society says we have failed. And whenever you start talking about value, well, if you failed and people aren't happy and you didn't do that right, you have no value in this world. And so now we're starting to get into the shame spiral that women get stuck in because they're not resourced, they're not replenishing on their own terms, right? And I don't know about you, but I've had enough of that. I've had enough of that story, that pressure to try and be something for other people. And then I'm good, but not unless other people are happy. That's why we shame women in general for being, I was about to say selfish, but I'm like tired. We shame women for wanting to take breaks. We shame them for wanting to take naps and vacations and spa days. And must be nice because we're all working on that same programming that a woman's value is based on taking care of everyone else. Yeah. Take a nice big breath. Yes. You are welcome to pop some questions in the chat. I will be watching it off and on. I've got my questions over here, but my video over here. I've got two monitors going, so I just want to let you know I'm here. Yeah. So, all right. So we're tackling some big conversations. Yeah. So going back to, we started building the platform in July and then brought in the Founders Circle. So I have these really beautiful women. Some of them are here tonight to help me beta test it because I had the concept and I had the energy, but I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. And so brought in founders so that we could beta test it September, right? We had a few months with that, working out bugs and kinks, and we're still doing that. This platform is being built from scratch. So it's being built to my specifications and our suggestions. And so it's really special to me. And then we soft launched in December. So we brought in 8 new members. We're moving our way in it. We're starting to like roll out and have some more experiences with it, right? I knew it would be awesome, but I didn't know exactly what to expect. And it's developed along the way, right? We are moving. We're moving with it. We are breathing with it. The founders have definitely added their magic. I freaking love you, women. I love you so much. I love you so, and I'm trying not to cry when I say this. What I really love about my founders is that you really stepped in, you really took it. And it's such an honor to be able to witness because I have a concept, but I can't do it by myself. So it's been such an honor to witness how you've all stepped in and to see how this space is actually alive. And trust me, she's alive. She is guiding us. She is moving in this space with us. She is developing with us and guiding us through the process and like, yeah, taking on a life of her own. Something magical is happening. Now that I still don't have words for because we're still in the throes of like watching that happen. But as I was saying, talking to John today, some language dropped in. And here's what I now understand what we're doing. Are you ready? Patty, hi, honey. Yeah, so do you want to know what we're doing? Because here's what I understand what we're doing. So we're going to go through stages, and I would, all the women, I would like for you to put on your like curious ears, but I'd like for you to just take a breath. Like, just take a breath. Let's just settle in for a second because this shit is good. You ready? Okay. So stage one, women come into this space, and what we are starting with is exactly what I just said a minute ago about the programming. So we are deprogramming the patriarchal rules that women are here to only feed other people. Okay? Feel that. Feel that that system was built to indoctrinate women, to disempower women. Don't get me on my soapbox. I'm gonna try not to get on a soapbox tonight. But it's what happened. It trained us to believe that that's our only value. As long as everyone is good and they're fed, even if we're starving, because the patriarchy doesn't say anything about taking care of us. We are the sack. That's interesting how that dropped in. I was going to say we're the sacrifice. Women are the sacrifice for the community, for the family, for the unit, right? And so as long as everyone else is fed, we're fine. We're good people. So what we're doing in stage one is we're gently disrupting those rules, gently disrupting them, questioning them, letting them sit in our bodies. Each woman gets to decide what's working for them and what's not working for them, right? It's not a community driven it's not everyone is like hive minds. Everybody gets the sovereign woman gets to decide what she wants to believe and what she doesn't want to believe. So the very first stage is we're deprogramming that patriarchal system and gently disrupting the rules, gently. We're not creating angry feminists, even though the world could use a few of those, but we are coming in and questioning those rules. Every woman is having her process in that because once you start dismantling the rules, now you're going to move into stage two, which is, I need you to take a breath. We're destabilizing the false identity, destabilizing it, meaning you have to disrupt it to dislodge yourself from the system. And then what happens is it feels like you're unstable. So the reality begins to wobble. Our reality, which is all perception anyway, begins to wobble because if you've lived in a system that told you your value is like you're only worth anything if you give, now you're questioning if that's true, you're gonna wobble. That's supposed to be there. But the benefit of being in a container like this is we're all wobbling together. We're Weeble Wobbles. I don't know if you know what that is. I'm dating myself. So anyway, we're Weeble Wobbles. We're all wobbling it together. And here's a benefit of that. When we're all wobbling together within a safe container, we're also healing something that's called the sister wound. Because, show of hands or hearts, or put up a fire emoji if this resonates with you. You've ever said, I don't trust groups, I don't do well in groups, and I don't trust other women. Put a fire emoji. Thank you, Annie. That was like my guides jumping in with the Weeble Wobbles. We don't fall down, that's right. Weebles may wobble, but we don't fall down. So put a fire emoji in the chat if you have ever said, I don't do well in groups, I don't do groups, and I don't trust other women. Because I know there are some people out there that, yep, fire, 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 fire. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So if we're destabilizing as a group in a safe container, we're gonna be healing the sister wound because we're all going through it together. And so it's this little bonus action that's happening that I didn't intend for, I hoped for, but there it is, right? Yeah. Hi, Jessica. Good to see you. That's okay, Lori. I see you. I know your intention. I see you, honey. Thank you. So stage two is the destabilization of the false identity. Well, no, not air quotes around false identity, right? Because it's not real. It's what we were told and we bought it. We believed it. Stage three, now you've got destabilization going on. There's going to be a lot of feelings that are going to come up because now we're questioning our system, the system that has given us value based on our giving. We're questioning that. So emotions are going to come up: fear, anger, shame, sacred rage, and even grief. So very normal, by the way. We should be feeling those things. Those aren't something to stuff down. That's what the system wants us to do. Because a good woman doesn't show any of those emotions. We're supposed to smile all the time and bake freaking cookies for everyone and just shut the F up. We're not supposed to question anything. So when these emotions come up, it doesn't matter what the emotion is, it's coupled with shame because we're not supposed to feel that. So stage three is we're alchemizing the emotions, not pushing them down, not avoiding them. We're actually bringing them in and giving them safe refuge because they are a natural part of our deconstruction. And so we're alchemizing those emotions, right? Yeah, we're alchemizing them. We're not just calling them, we're bringing them in. There's a certain process of allowing it and feeling it and moving it through your system so that it can move on. That's what emotions are supposed to do. But we live in a society that has demonized and moralized emotions. You're not a good woman if you feel anger. Right? I could go on and on and on, but that's a soapbox moment. So we're allowing those. We're bringing them in and we're alchemizing them. We're giving them their proper life cycle of expression so that they can move on, so we can be healthy, so that we don't feel the need to stuff them down, right? Stage four, as I understand it today, because remember, this is an ever-evolving group. I just found language today. It could change, it could update, right? Just as today, stage four is the resourced woman. She has found her source within. So what that means is she has a stable nervous system with full range. It's not about consistency and never having a bad day. It's having the regulation skills to move up and down the ebb and flow of regulation or your flat line. So we move in all of that, right? She has healed, she's healing her sister wound. She is rewriting her identity. She is remembering that her inner value is on her terms and therefore it increases. When inner value grows and increases, boundaries naturally come out. Boundaries naturally happen. So many people are talking about like, oh, you should have better boundaries, blah, 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 but we don't actually know where to start. It's because we're trying to have external boundaries without internal value. That's why it doesn't work. We've skipped a step. When you have internal value, you just freaking have boundaries. Okay. And so then as the boundaries are working, you have the vitality to give to people you love without sacrificing yourself. Because this is also not a conversation of, oh, you have to stop giving and you have to say, screw you, it's all about me now. Like, it's not about that either. This isn't an all or nothing thing. This is how can we weave within your life the energy and resources that you can sustain yourself so that you can show up for people you love, right? The patriarchy would want people to believe that we angry feminists just want it to be all about women now and screw you, it's about us now. They my soapbox is coming out. They think we would do to them what they would do to us if they were in our position. That's why they think that. But we just want our own energy sources. We just want to feel valuable without having to always prove our value through our giving. Is that making sense? So we start with the first one is the deprogramming, and then your false identity starts to wobble, and then you're going to feel things. You're alive, thank God, and then you are resourced because this is what it takes to deconstruct from a cult, the cult of the world, the programming of what they told women to be. We are deconstructing that. And we're doing it. Who's moving some stuff? We're doing that together. Because this is also another one of those things that I notice about women is that because we don't feel safe with other women, we don't feel safe in groups, we will go do it on our own, which is why we're not getting anywhere. That's what they hope happens. They hope we don't have support. They hope we don't figure it out. And I don't know how you feel about this, and we're not going to get political. It's not the time for it. But I do know with every cell of my body that the world needs us in our divine sacred feminine more than ever. More than ever are we being called to be fully embodied, to show up with our empathy and compassion. Because what the fuck is happening in our world is because we haven't been able to embody that as a people. That's how I feel about it. I'm just going to pause right there. I want to take a breath. I feel some throat stuff moving. So whoever that is, just breathe. Just breathe. Just have some throat opening moments. I want to know if there's any questions so far, and I'd like to hear if this is making sense to you. First, let's start there. Like, is this making sense? And how is it landing? Like, I would just love to hear, like, out of who is here tonight, like, how is it landing for you? What's what's striking? Like, oof, that feels really good to me. Okay. So if there's any questions for you, I'm just grounding, just taking a moment for you. Yeah. Mm. Hmm. So, yeah, sounds right. Yeah. I want to talk about, let me just feel into where I'm going next. Makes sense, but I'm so trying not to check out. Yeah, I know. When you were talking about how we don't have to prove our worth and value, that's what's really landing. Yeah, good. That program is really sinister. It's 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 diabolical. And I don't even know if we're gonna fully deprogram it in our lifetime. I don't know. I know that there's been conversation of moving from patriarchy to matriarchy. Men think a matriarch means women are in charge and men are going to be treated the way they've treated women. This is why they fight against it. It's a lot of what we're seeing in the world right now. That's not what a matriarchy is. A matriarchal system, everyone gets fed, nobody goes hungry. Patriarchal system is men get fed first and screw everyone else. That system is starting to destabilize. So take the levels of what I just talked about in our one little beautiful community. The world's going through that. It's wobbling and it's destabilizing. And so a lot of people are having a lot of feels because the feels, right? Yeah. And so it's sorry. I just I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Um, so where was I? The matriarchy is where we're headed. It's been proven that that's what we need right now. Well, maybe not proven. I believe it's what we need right now. So I'm going to leave it at that because I know some people will be in my comments challenging that, and I don't really care. So I want to talk about her sovereign way and how we do all of that. So okay, great. We're deprogramming and then destabilizing and then having our feels. So we're alchemizing and then we have a resourced woman, right? How do we do that? So first, it's a container. It's private. It's my private space. You can't get in unless you're a member. I want it that way. It's not a public space. The only public part of it is the community space. There is a kind of what we would call a Facebook group is a chat space for people to go in, ask for support. That's public. The private space, the inner sanctum, is the platform that helps you keep track of. There's a lot of beautiful support systems in there. Helps you stay in blah 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 blah. Let me take a moment. When I start losing my words, I know there's a lot of energy moving. And you're invited to take a breath with me if that works for you. Yeah. So the platform, there are certain things in there that would support you in staying in touch with your embodiment, checking in on your self-value, and working on boundaries. Like there are some systems in place that help you daily check in with that. And there's a classroom space that I'm filling up with beautiful tutorials and trainings and practices, things that nurture whenever you're ready. Because that's the other thing is we're not trying to overwhelm. We're already going to get overwhelmed. I'm not wanting to add to the overwhelm. Those 4 stages that I talked about is going to be overwhelming. It's going to be uncomfortable. We do not deprogram and re-identify on our own terms while tiptoeing through the tulips, and it's the best day ever. It's uncomfortable. If you're not uncomfortable, then you're not doing it. There's no way around that. It doesn't have to be so uncomfortable that it's harmful. That's the safe space of it. That's the gentleness of it. We're still gentle, but it's uncomfortable. So the tutorials and the practices and the videos in there are for you whenever you have a sustained regulated nervous system and you're like, I want to go in there and practice something. It's there. It's always open, right? So classroom is always open. There's other fun stuff. You guys know, oh, the great unraveling. Yes, ma'am. You guys know that I published my first Oracle deck, the Sovereign Path. And this is something that my founders don't know because I just got confirmation today. There are 8 bonus cards in the deck that's online. So you have an online deck that you get to shuffle and pick a card. There's 8 bonus moon cards that just came online today. So yum, 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 right? And then there's other things, members perks, like if I'm inspired to, if I feel like the group needs an extra support call, then we jump on a live call. All calls are recorded so you don't miss anything. I've been giving my members free access to workshops that are coming up. That won't be free for every single workshop, but there will be discounts. Like I'm giving lots of perks, right? I want to nurture the space as much as I'm able. But the magic, the magic, the magic is in the 4 live calls a month. So we gather 4 times a month, and this is where we get into our conversations. And each call has a different intention. So there's different parameters for each one, and they're all designed to nurture you in that 30-day window. Your infradian rhythm. They're designed to nurture you through the infradian rhythm. And I could go on and on about it, but I won't. You can go online. I'll drop the link in a minute so you can just kind of go. And in fact, let me just grab it real quick. That way you can just go and check it out yourself and it explains everything. And I don't want to keep everybody really late, but I know Alexandra. Hey, Karen. Good to see you, honey. Yeah, there's 8 bonus moon cards. I'm super excited about it. So anyway, the 4 calls a month are actually where the deepening and the unraveling and the support and the healing comes from. That sister wound that I was talking about. It's where it really nurtures that. It brings it out and that's where we transform. That's where the magic is in those 4 calls. Now, I'm not going to keep you much longer. I want to get down to why I've called you here. Because for some of you, this isn't going to be interesting to you. You're good. You're good with the way it is. You've been alive this long. Why rock the boat? It's not of any interest to you. And I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate that you are clear what is working for you, that you are good there. For some others, maybe there's a little tickle in the belly where it's like, that sounds interesting, but there's some apprehension. Got it. That's okay. Maybe it's not right now. Maybe you're like, I'll keep my eye out, but I am overloaded after the holidays. Got it. Thank you for your honesty. But there are some of you that are like, holy shit, I don't know what this is, and you don't have to know everything, but something is here for me. This something is here for me. And the truth is if it's not for you, if it doesn't call to you, please do not join until you're ready. Do not come into this space thinking that it's going to be a little bit of a woo-woo space. We don't do that here. This isn't your typical spiritual community. This isn't your typical love and light. Everything is roses and rainbows. This is dirty and messy and fucking hard. All within a safe container, all gentle, but it's real. Do you get that? Sometimes real is messy, and you're not going to deconstruct your programs by using positive affirmations and having crystals around you all the time. I'm not knocking those things. If you saw my table over there, you'd see all my crystals. But it's not what's going to get the real deep, murky programs out of your system. Okay? So just leaving that on the table. If it's not for you, don't try to fool yourself and join because I don't want you putting yourself through the torment of all of that discomfort for nothing. Okay? So I am calling to the women that are ready. We want women that are ready to come in. that maybe they're a little lost, they're tired, they don't know what else to do. Those are my women. Those are the ones I'm calling. Okay. So here's what I'm offering. Her Sovereign Way is a membership. You can do a monthly or you can do pay by the year and you get 2 months free. Easy, right? Easy peasy. I'm opening enrollment and allowing people to have a 21-day trial period. 21 days gives you all access to everything. You get to see the classroom. That also gives you access to 3 live calls because we do 4 months. So 21 days is about the amount of time where you can come to 3 of the calls. So you get a really good taste of what I'm saying, because if anything, I want you to know that I mean it. And then I want you to be able to feel into if it's for you, because I don't want you there and I don't know. So I think what I'm feeling sometimes with women is we fawn and we want to be a part of it and we fool ourselves into thinking we want it, but we really don't want it. And that actually hurts. So don't do that. That's my invitation. So, got it. Thanks, Lauren Jing, and love you. Thank you for your honesty. So here's the dealio. 21 days, no pressure, no sales call. Come in, try it out. If it doesn't work for you, exit. Clean, easy, because I only want women that really want to be in it. I'm going to drop the link. That's where you go. Okay. If it's the answer you've been looking for, and it's the right combination of disrupting your comfort zone while staying in a safe space, then stay with us. Stay with us as long as you want. You get to cancel anytime anyway. It's not like it's not high pressure. Stay as long as it serves you and leave when you're done. Easy. And that's an invitation to my founders too. I'm not interested in forcing you to be in. I'm not interested in like the pressure and the oh, what am I feeling? It's like there's no obligation. I'm not in it to obligate you. Stay as long as it works for you and leave when it's no longer working for you. I don't think I can be any more clear. Yeah. So that's my conversation that I wanted to have with you. Um, yeah. I'm just gonna feel that for a second. Yeah. Any questions? I just want to know if there's any questions for you. Yeah. Love you, ladies. Thank you. Yeah. So for the ladies that are wondering what their value is beyond being the sacrifice, who's tired of being tired and wondering what your actual value is in the world, the ladies that are ready to drop the masks and be uncomfortable and be safe and move through some spaces. Let me know. I'm available if you have questions. I'm always open to talking. If something that I've said tonight doesn't make sense to you and you want to know more, let me know. You have until Friday if you want to take advantage of the 21-day offer. At midnight Eastern, that trial period ends, and then it goes back to regular enrollment. And that's it. And I love you. And thank you for being here. Thanks for being the witness of this birth, because it means so very much to me when we witness and we weave each other. You have helped me amplify the power of our platform, even if you don't join. I so appreciate that. And I love you. And I'll see you again. And we'll talk soon. And yes, the link is in the chat. I should have, if you don't see it, scroll in. Sometimes the comments are a little weird, but I'll see you around, loves. Bye.